Hello guys and welcome to my new video. This is a healing guide for mythic Tichondrius from a perspective of a restoration druid. So I've recently killed Tichondrius and I decided to do a little guide on what kind of damage to expect as a healer and basically when to use cooldowns and how to manage your cooldowns as a restoration druid as well. So this is actually a pretty simple fight from a healing perspective because there's only about 3 things that you need to pay attention to, and I'll cover them all throughout the guide. But first let's look at some of the talent choices they should pick. As a restoration druid, germination is the best choice here, mainly because this fight consists of constant damage throughout the fight with manageable and controllable burst AoE from Brand of Argus spell, which I'll cover later on as well. So because of this, germination is the choice to pick here. You can also go with balance affinity for extra range because throughout the fight, and if you're doing the same tactics as us, you will split your range into 2 groups, so range becomes an issue. So balance affinity can be the choice here as well. So while picking germination, because of this, your mastery is going to scale much better because you'll have more hots on priority targets. So more than likely mastery is going to scale the best, so I would recommend for you to use your mastery gear here. Trinkets like perfectly preserved cake can be used as well because once you detonate Brand of Argus, you can actually pop it right before that. But like I said, this is not a very difficult fight from a healing perspective because you know where and how the damage is going to come from. So the first thing is that people are going to be affected by carrion plague. The main thing is restoration druid. For this, put 2 rejuvenations on everyone who has carrion plague. The damage will become more constant and it'll become harder to heal as the fight prolongs. But you should always aim to have both rejuvenations on the carrion plague target. Second thing, and this is what will probably cause most of wipes, because getting hang of this fight is mainly concerning tanks and the soakers, basically the people who soak Seeker Swarm. So just predicting the amount of damage you're going to take, the amount of cooldowns that you're going to need is basically the whole fight here. But as a healer, the main thing for you is you're going to be assigned to use your Iron Bark on a specific target. You should enable your UI to show at all times what stacks of carrion plague each person has. So throughout the fight, you'll be assigned to Iron Bark someone, and always make sure that the person with more than 1 carrion swarm should have as many hots as possible, and always try to keep it. Make sure that his health doesn't dip too low. Have your regrowth ready. This is really important, and this is basically the whole fight. The third thing is basically controlling the debuff called the Brand of Argus, which basically puts a green swirly circle around the target, around 2 people at a time. They run to their assigned groups, either left or right. Then there's about few people go into the circle and explode it, and they do it on both sides. The most important part here is that when you're about to explode, basically you can predict the damage here. If you have the cake, use the cake and explode the circle. If you don't have the cake, explode the circle, cast Wild Growth. Or you can actually also pre-hot people, which is what I actually do. Pre-hot people before they're going into the circle, explode the circle, Wild Growth, then pop your Essence of Garnier or Flourish. That's one of the best ways to do it. You also have to make sure that when you're exploding the left side, all the people on the right side are a good bit away, because the damage reduces the further you're away from the circle. That's excluding the people that are in the circle that are needed to pop the circle itself. So that's something to keep in mind. The fight breakdown is actually quite interesting because the mana is not an issue here because of how the bat phase works, because everyone has to pick the buff that increases their healing and damage and also gives them mana rejuvenation. So use Innervate anytime that you want in the first phase, and mana shouldn't be too bad. You might not even have to pop a mana potion. Basically, go crazy with mana. Once you've seen the first phase before the bats, this is the phase that you can burn all your mana. So basically that's why germination is really good, because germination is really mana intensive, and not having mana problems, this is the talent to pick. So just looking at the breakdown of damage, this is the graph that shows you when the bad phase is happening. So it happens at around 2 minutes, and then it happens again around 5 minutes. So basically what you should do is you should use a tranquility at around 1 minute. I think I used it at 30 seconds or something. You'll be assigned to use it during when people are popping the Brand of Argus. So you should use it there, and you should also use your Essence of Ganir and Flourish. And then you go into the bad phase, you get your full mana back, and then you'll have your tranquility again at around, let's say, 4 minutes, which is also the Brand of Argus phase. So this is just basically two phases. First phase is popping Brand of Argus, healing carrying plague targets, and that's basically it. And then you go to the bad phase, and then it resets. You'll have 2 bad phases, so you'll basically will be able to have 3 tranquilities, and that's the whole fight. It's really not that hard. It is quite a lot of healing, but it's predictable. You have your huts to manage the people that are affected by the dots, by the carrion plague, which is, this fight is really suited towards Resto Druids. So as a wrestler myself, I found this really interesting and really fun fight, and I hope that this little overview helped you. You can look at my frames to see what kind of damage to expect. We were 4 healing this fight. So I hope this helped you, and if you have any questions, I'm streaming most of the time, and leave a comment below and I'll answer it. And if you like the video, please subscribe. It helps me quite a lot. Thank you guys.